Hello, GMGN to everybody. Can you guys hear me? Uh, can you? Okay. Cool. Hi, everybody. This is MG from Surgence Lab. Uh, and we have today Jimmy with us from the IOPN team. You might have followed Jimmy, seen his pictures on timeline, may have interacted with him in different spaces. Today, we have the man of the moment on stage talking through what is the vision of IOPN and what is the future ahead. So, Jimmy, welcome. How are you? New look, same mission. How are you feeling?
100%. You took the words out of my mouth. All good, all good. Thank you, MG. Yeah, I mean it's not something new that we work very closely with the Surgeons team and appreciate all of their efforts in getting us where we are and growing together. Happy to be here. Yes, definitely fresh look, fresh year, same vision, same energy. We've been kind of really head down getting everything we've been working on battle tested and ready for mainnet. So really excited for this to really remind people why we're building what we're building and for who we're building IOPN and the open chain in specific.
Yes, definitely. And I have been on like some of the calls, like almost all the calls, right? And I really love the new positioning that we are heading into, which is quite opposite of what 90% of the projects do in Web3, right? And today's session is really going to be about why you choose to go into that direction and how it correlates with the ethos of what you are building. And of course, that comes with your background and why you got into crypto, right? Because it's your journey, what you have experienced, and you put it out and you want to build something that give people the really decentralized experience, and that's the whole purpose and the agenda of this broadcast. To all those viewers watching it for the first time, so this is the first of the IOPN broadcast. We will have more series where we will have Jimmy with some of our partners, maybe some of the creators you might have seen on timeline coming in every week talking about a specific topic related to OPN. Today's episode is just focusing on the high level stuff about IOPN and the OPN chain. So everybody, thank you for showing in. I can see some comments. Accelerate N. I think that's the go-to word we use. We see some community members already posting about it. So Jimmy, I guess some of the questions here you have been asked many times, but those viewers who are hearing it for the first time, uh, like let's before we like zoom out, right? Let's ground this. If somebody who doesn't care about crypto, AI, decentralization, how would you describe what IOPN is building and why it should matter to them?
Of course. Now, appreciate, of course, our community. We couldn't have done any of this without them or for anyone, right? So appreciate everyone coming in here, all the newcomers, and I really appreciate that we're going to have this on our timeline so people can go back and see it and understand the why, right? So if you strip away all the buzzwords, IUPN is building three simple things. You have a digital identity that you actually own. that is yours, that is sovereign to you. You have a way to move and to earn value without surrendering your control. And you have an intelligence layer that actually works for you and not on top of you, and you becoming the product. So, for a normal person, what does this mean? It means instead of creating new accounts everywhere, you have one digital identity and you carry it across all of the apps and services. You choose what data to share, with whom you to share it, and how for how long, for example. And when the value is created for your participation or your data, you're not just the product, you're part of the value flow. So, when infrastructure actually works for people, what does that mean? A few things will change. You don't start from zero in every new app. You have reputation that follows you throughout your journey. You have your preferences, which are noted and that will reflect. You have relationships that travel with you. So logging in stops being, give us your data and become is more of allow the service to plug into your identity that you control, right? And that's a very simple change, but it means a lot. So over time, you're not locked into a platform, but you have platforms that are competing to serve you because you can leave with everything that matters at any moment, right? So we've built the infrastructure to be very flexible where you can move fluidly in between all of the different verticals that we offer using one identity and making sure that your data and your preferences are secure and safe with you.
That's a very sharp answer, well, very curated about. I really like the word you mentioned, the value flow, right? And a lot of people in Web3 don't realize because they are bombarded with terms like token, when TG is happening, when airdrop and stuff. So they didn't really see the value that project is bringing in, right? We are all working day in, day out to work on this value flow, right? TG, token, and everything is just variables to it, but at the end of the day, if your value flow is strong, all the other things will fall in its place. So when it comes to value flow, right, how important for a project is to provide that value for people, and in terms of in relation with IOPN, how we are providing value to people instead of extracting value from people, because we have seen the space is quite extractive. Projects try to come in and extract value from people. How we are positioning ourselves different from it?
Very good question. So I would say here that the way that we bring value, opposed to other chains, right, is that we're focusing firstly on sovereign identity solutions where people can come and start basically building a sovereign identity with preferences and reputation that follows throughout the journey in IOPN. So from day zero, as we've been saying,
Looks like Jimmy has dropped off for some or the other reason, but no issues. I will get him back on the stage. He should be back in a moment.
I still see myself here. Did X rug?
Hello, Jimmy, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, you got dropped off for a good 5 minutes, and let me read one thing that stuck while you were speaking. I'll ask my question again. Jimmy looks more handsome with a beard. Somebody
Well,
say comment. Jimmy, I'll read few comments and then we'll jump. This is one of like a break we took. So Jimmy, you look so handsome. Jimmy is great. I think you've got a lot of fans in the community talking about your look. That's good. So yeah, welcome back. We were talking about the value flow, right? So you were
correct.
talking the value we are providing as compared to what other projects do.
100%. I mean, we saw it when people started coming to testnet and really coming in, in floods. And the reason was because I believe they really related to what we're doing and the way that we're building our ecosystem. So first things first, simply we put the user in the middle, and we started going around of how we identify them, we give them their identity that they can follow with every transaction that they do actually. So how do we uh, recreate? We really liked the incentivization scheme that was happening in the trend of InfoFi and stuff, but we wanted it to also be less about farmers in a way and more about the users themselves and having that, yes, incentivization, but it being behind it, the intentions being that they want to engage more with the ecosystem and not just go towards the rewards, because rewards are important, but then the intention of why we're going for that reward also is very important. So the idea is we've created a whole reputation system as well. And we're very excited about that platform because it's really a very robust and cool gamification layer that we've added that references a lot to games that we've played, whether it be shooter games, RPGs. There's a progression in our ecosystem that is really nice, and I think it's going to resonate with a lot of users. We've created a tier system within our ecosystem that's going to have some, lore to it as well, for the people that are interested in such. And the idea is that those tiers will give you more access. They'll give you more, if you want, access to services, but also access to, let's say, multipliers in some campaigns, etc. The giveaways. There are very big campaigns that we're doing in terms of giveaways and how we promote people that have been loyal to our platform since day one, since before the chain was even live, because we have done a campaign where testnet wasn't even live yet, when we it was purely web 2, but we remember, right? And we were very clear that this is going to be rewarded at some point, and the time is very close. So I'm very excited for that, is that we're really focusing on how we give value to the user that is coming in, how we retain them, not just by a transactional or a speculative intention, but it is to feel a sense of belonging and to be part of the ecosystem and to want to stay here. So this is the most important thing, is that the way we think of building is always community first. Then, what added value we're giving now, we're democratizing access to real estate that potentially wasn't available before through our tokenization. Not just real estate, actually, because now it's the hottest, maybe, word, but we can tokenize everything, commodities, financial instruments, debt. Uh, all of that is in the pipeline. So the idea is to offer, but also educate the our community on what is possible, and offering them that which is now possible in a safe and compliant manner. We're working on having and we've already started with one nation, but we're working on more nations to give access to global mobility through crypto activity. So it is not a far future uh, where we'll be able to stake tokens and get access to passports, stake tokens and get access to visas, stake tokens get access to real estate, stake tokens and get access to high-end luxury collectibles. So our whole, you know, ethos, I think, is to really democratize access and then fill in the blank after that. And the way that we do it is in a very engaging and lucrative strategy and very sophisticated raising strategy from our end, allowing staking across our token, but also on stables, which we will discuss a lot more in our next broadcasts. But there is definitely a lot of value, a lot that differentiates us from other chains, and a lot of benefit for the people that have trusted and believed in us in the beginning. So I'm really excited to share more as we grow and as we go.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, one of the values, right? I think you already spilled some hints there. What people can expect. I was one of the lucky people to get a sneak peek of the rep system that you are building, and everybody in the comments hyping it up. I just want to tell you guys that that's something unique. That's something you will love. The progression itself is something that is very sticky, so you will enjoy interacting with the chain. It's not going to be a boring experience. It's going to be something that you would like to log in every day and play with it and have fun, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and being part of the journey that we are taking it together. One thing that you really mentioned, which stood out, was rewarding the early participants, right? So all those people who are in the comments, I just want to let you know that the ethos of and how IOPN operates is they take care of everybody who contributed to the growth journey even before the chain goes live. So if you are with us, you are one of the badges holder that we went live with. If you are one of the Discord road holders, I can see some people mentioning that we have thought about you and you will be taken care of, right? And that's what ethos of IOPN is, rewarding early contribution. And if somebody who was with day one was rewarded, that means everybody who will be part of the journey from here on will also be taken care of, and that's what we stand for. So yeah, thank you so much for telling us why IOPN is different. And community was asking this question, so I was just giving them a bit of idea about what is it. So I will
Of
read
course.
few
I
comments.
see also here some people asking about, early N badge and origin NFT and what information is coming. So I would tell them to be just a little bit more patient. We have a lot in store and a lot of value coming your way. You made it this far with us. We appreciate your loyalty, and we're gonna show it with the exclusive access that you guys will be getting, the multipliers on certain, drops that we will be doing, and I'm very excited to share with you guys the some of the giveaways that we're doing and the benefits that you will get and the multipliers that you will get as early adopters. So we'll be communicating all of this in the coming weeks. So please stick around. You've made it this far, as I said, and it's all up from here, hopefully.
Yes, like we talked about what is to come in future. Let's step back and talk about why IOPN, right? So IOPN stands for Internet of People, right? So I'm going to ask a very question that is related to the foundation of this whole ecosystem, right? We have seen multiple ways of internet, crypto, AI. There is metas coming and going. Where was the moment when it clicked to you that the problem wasn't the product, but the internet was being shaped around institution and not individuals? And that's how you come up with the idea of being a decentralized taking this decentralized approach and building internet of people. What clicked in you? Was there some incident that happened in your personal life? Was it something that you experienced? What was the moment when you realize, okay, this is the gap that I need to fill in and I'm going to build in that direction?
For sure. I mean, that's a very deep question here. I'm not going to go too far back, but the reason why I entered the whole Web3 space on a personal level is because of a failing banking system that my country went through. Our banks went default. We lost all of our money. So that by itself is a very strong experience to really push you down the path of decentralization, and that happened quite a while ago. But then what excited me to join the team of IOPN, because to be fair, my our founder Mushtaba is the one that had built the foundation. But when I had joined, the reason was very clear to me. So it was watching a few waves play out in front of us. Web2 platforms are centralizing attention and data. You have crypto building open rails, but still routing all of the power to the same kind of actors. And now AI being trained on everyone's behavior without any meaningful consent. So, adding all that, individually, you can look at those products or problems, a better app here, a better wallet there. But the pattern is structural, right? The internet keeps defaulting to an institution first design that can be manipulated, and users are added at the end. And that's why they always get the tail end of things, right? And how many of us have been exit liquidity to projects that were promising, that raised funds, that were, promising so many things and barely delivered? So we quickly realized that if you just keep layering new products on top of that foundation, you get nicer interfaces on the same power dynamics. So what convinced us, I would say, or me, was that we needed to rebuild was what we needed to rebuild was the recognition that identity and control over data sit below everything else, right? And if those are owned by platforms, it doesn't matter how many decentralized or AI powered services you bolt on top, right? So you need to work it from the foundation up to have these values, uh, and that grow with the ecosystem and keep the same values and put the, in our case, the user first. And this is our attempt, basically, to start at the bottom, redesign the way identity, money, and intelligence are wired, so that the individual is at the root and he's the main character, as we say here, right? And not at the entry, not as an entry in somebody's CRM, you know.
Nice. Like the user first, right? That approach, like it is keep coming back where you're talking about rewarding early users. We're now talking about keeping the user first. We are now talking about how IOPN is designed to keep community first approach. And this is what the vision of IOPN is from here on, right? We discussed in multiple meetings how we want this to be different from all the other projects and the approach they take where they go behind exchanges, VCs, exit liquidity, and the community is always on the end, right? And they project their community first, but in reality it's not, right? That's the reality of Web3, and that's why most of the people leave instead of coming into the space. So it's really good to see that somebody who's actually sticking to what they say, not just saying it for the facade of it to attract people and build up the hype. uh, Talking about like community first, right? A lot of community participated in the testnet, right? And I have seen everybody who there are a lot of people who participated in testnet here. We have hit more than 13 million plus transactions. uh, that's where things got serious, right? You could see that all the build, like all the community building that you have done is now translating into transactions. When real users started IOPN experimenting with the chain, sometimes breaking the chain also because the volume of influx was so good. What was one thing that surprised you the most in that phase, in the testnet phase? Was it like you were not expecting such feedback from the community to come, the chain, or what was one thing that you didn't expect from the testnet phase?
Yeah, man. I mean, just thinking about it gave me goosebumps. It was a very humbling experience. Building something that resonated with that many people was really something very special, and it gives you, a sense of confidence that you're going down the right path like nothing else. But ultimately, you're building for these people. And when these people answer, you know, the calling, it's the best feeling ever. Now, of course, it was still a test environment and the token is not live yet, and there's no monetary side of things, because that's also important to keep the lights on. But this is testing the appetite, and this is testing our also strength in securing and developing platforms that can handle. And you know what? Breaking it because of influx is, of course, unfortunate because of the downtime, but it's a big win also. And it's a, you know, you can always have bigger rails and be able to, you know, upgrade some things. And it's always going to be that, you know, you're never going to go to, let's say, subscribe to the highest tier if you're not going to see that I might build up to it, right? And when you directly hit that and you scramble to go and to get more bandwidth if you'd like, it's a really great feeling. And what does that mean? It means that it has to encourage you to keep building. It means that you're going down the right path, that the community wants what you're offering. And what surprises me as well is um, people directly started behaving in a way that this is their environment and not ours. And that's beautiful, because that's what we're trying to build here. It's an inclusive ecosystem where people find it as close to home, right? And of course, people try and break things. And that's the whole purpose of testnet, right? It's testing. We're testing the amount, the thresholds, how much we can push the chain, how many people can come on top of it. And you know what? There are a lot of very talented people on this planet, and a lot of intelligent people on this planet, and a lot of them sadly invest a lot of it in malicious things and in scamming and in creating. I mean, we had people create scripts to come and to farm test open, right? I mean, what can you do with it? Potentially, if we weren't experienced and allowed people to create pools where they can then do arbitrage or some sort, or scam people into buying or whatever, that could have happened. But then on a simple learn platform, having people coming in and there's like, okay, it's transactions on chain, but then the purpose of it, and there is some expenses that's put on the opposite side, but that's fine. That also is something that we count for, right? Because you never know when this person also might have a change of heart and convert. If he doesn't find what he was looking for, because we've built a safe and secure environment here, potentially they might become one of us as well. So that's a normal, and it's going to happen. So I would say that it's a great signal what we've got from the feedback, that people cared about governance, visibility, and exit as much as they cared about the features, which is very important for us.
Exactly. I was talking about, like, when you mentioned so many smart people in the world, right? I remember when we had things, you were telling me that somebody is running the scripts, and that is crazy. Like, that links back to what you were saying, that we have shipped something that people feel like home, people feel like interacting, showing up every day. And whatever we have thrown to people, right? We have given them tokenization platform, quizzes, we have seen participation at its peak. There was never a campaign where we saw participation what that was below than expected, and there were no rewards upfront for people who are participating in testnet. Of course, their action will be taken care of, but as you said, right, incentive is one thing, and we haven't communicated what incentives are. We have shown them what we are building, and people came for what we are building, not for the incentives, right? And that shows, like, people came for something that they enjoy. Yes, they might have in subconsciously thinking about incentive because web3 revolves around this thing, but that was not the reason why they came for. So that is the beauty of what we have built, and you nailed it, right? Like, that's what testnet was, and it's good that we it broke, because that shows that real crowd, real traction, and we were able to test to our maximum capacity, you know. Now, like, a lot of people are asking in the comments when mainnet, right? So as Jimmy said, right, we have rep point system coming up soon, and mainnet is also going to be in the pipeline soon, right? Testnet is still live. Some people are asking, so a lot of people are asking questions about mainnet. Do you want to give a hint to people what we can expect in future when it comes to like mainnet?
Well, I mean, what I can say is mainnet is closer than ever. I guess as time passes, it's gonna be that. So I don't wanna spill the beans here. We have a very worked out campaign, and we're gonna communicate what we need to when we need to, and we're not gonna fall for it here and give any insights. But then it couldn't be closer than now. Really, like years of work have amounted to a moment that we hold very dearly and closely, because we want it to be as as perfect as we can. But we will definitely launch, and we were having the conversation today, me and Mo, actually, the CEO and founder, is that we're so ready to move into phase two. Like it is really time for everything to see the light, but we want it to be all well coordinated, well organized, and given the as MG was mentioning right now, the influx of people and the attention and the eyes that are on this, we want it to be at the caliber that we accept. So it's not too long from now. I would say in a month's time, and within the month from today.
That's the alpha. That's the alpha I was looking for. People are asking, people are saying that's enough alpha already, but Jimmy is already spilling some beans. And with just mainnet, there are a lot of surprises coming in. I'm personally excited. I have, trust me, never seen something like this in the Web3 space. What IOPN has up their shelves, I would die to get some of the things they're going to give away. Trust me. Uh, I have I want to spill some beans, but I'll keep quiet. I'm more than excited to actually see and reaction of people when the cat is out of the bag.
Yeah,
Talking about the hot topic, right? I think we have. So I'm going. I think we have already talked about the pillars of IOPN thoroughly when we are discussing why you are building and what people can expect. So we can skip that part from the agenda. Moving on towards AI, and like we have seen with what is happening with Claude Bot, and the AI. I think with Cloud and Claudebot, we have seen AI moving to phase two, in my opinion. Right now,
yeah,
before that, AI was Chat GPT was something which was like a one-way interaction, but now with Claudebot, it has become a two-way interaction where you can get AI to do stuff for you, and it acts as an employee, right, on your behalf. And I know AI is a big part of the IOPN ecosystem, but it has a separate brand itself, right? When you go on the website, all those people, there's something mentioned about Atlas, right? So can
correct.
you deep dive a little bit about what Atlas is? Like, what is Atlas and how it links back to the whole ecosystem?
Sure. So sovereignty is a very big word in our books, and um, part of the what we're tackling to make sure that is sovereign, like identity solutions, is AI computing. So what Atlas stands for is Advanced Tokenized Liquid Cooled AI Stack. Okay, it actually is an acronym. And what these modular data centers are geared to do is to build sovereign AI computing environments for government and semi-government entities. So far, we can cater to institutions as well, but our main focus is on governments. Why? Because we've heard a lot about information sharing. We've heard a lot about leaking information, especially on a G2G level. And through our, relationships, we've been able to secure a relationship with one of the world's biggest OEMs, Supermicro, and we are able to procure and operate NVIDIA AI GPUs, specifically the latest versions of the B200s. And what that means is that we are building data centers for governments where they own the machines, they own the transport, the data, and the storage. And that way they're building, they're training, and they're building in a safe and secure environment. And leveraging our chain as well, they can also have their data stored on the chain. Eventually, we can build many of these modular data centers across different government entities, thus creating a network between them that will make sure that the data is safe and secure within that government, and not being leveraging hyperscalers, which we know are liable, or we know that they're sometimes technical issues, single point of failure, and we've seen with Cloudflare, AWS, when they go down, what happens. So that can't affect governments, and it has before. So that's a very important thing that we're doing. Now, it starts with that. And as we scale up, it will trickle down to users even. So eventually, there will be GPU as a service as well that we can offer using our token, for example, right? So through staking, eventually you can get access to GPU power. And that is, within the roadmap here. So Atlas itself is around building sovereign AI environments, but we do also build AI solutions at IOPN. We've already worked with a couple of big businesses here in the UAE to build their own, white labeled solutions, which we can't mention because we're under confidentiality. But we do also have a very talented AI team, and we're building a lot of AI tools within the IOPN ecosystem. So you're going to be able to find a lot of, you know, I would say very unique layers on top of our wallet, for example, for security using AI. We're going to have across a couple of our platforms also a conversational AI to help handhold people through processes. We're gonna have our own eventually mascot that we I won't reveal much more about them yet, but we will have a certain representative, digital representative, I will call him now, or her, or it. So I'm very excited for that as well, and that can will be following also the whole journey together in a very personalized manner. Very, very important word, personalized. So I'll keep it at that, and it will come in due time. So yes, we're very AI enabled, like everyone says, but we also build our own, and we're definitely watching the whole development of AI. And it's interesting, it's scary, it's I don't know, questionable if under control, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, as long as we're sticking true to our values and building AI ethically, hopefully we'll be on the right side of history. And also, we're gearing up to a very big announcement that we will discuss later on. And using AI ethically is a very big topic that will be discussed within that announcement and within a certain event that will happen. But we'll discuss this a bit down the line this year.
Cool. That's good. Like, because AI is like uh is the graph of AI, right? Like the generation we are in. I have never imagined that AI will grow so fast. It just came out of nowhere. Like last year was such a huge like growth of AI in terms of the real use, and everyday people can get access to it, and it was right in front of us and now changing our everyday's life. And it's good to see that we have thought, like IOPN has already been part of the game and building something and offering this service to institution governments. And it's good, like you said, it's scary at times, but if you stick to your ethos and you keep building in the direction which is ethical, I think AI is here to help you and facilitate you and make your life better, right? uh, that's what we are also building for. uh, so as a user, right, I want to talk about like the OPN chain, right? We talked about AI, we talked about testnet, and now we are talking about the chain itself. uh, like when somebody moves from a traditional platform or a traditional chain, let's say I have been using Ethereum, Polygon, whatever, like the old type of chain mechanism, and how IOPN is different from that. Like I have seen the platform, I've seen account abstraction term that we talk about. We talk about a hub, uh, every place where people can do stuff in just one app. Let's say call it a super app and stuff, right? IOPN is different as an experience of a user. If I'm coming from a old chain like Ethereum, what what is going to be the differentiator for me in terms of experience?
Sure. I mean, going back to the initial vertical that we've mentioned. The first thing people will notice, I think, is the change in posture, right? So on most platforms, you feel like you're inside someone else's environment, whereas on open chain with NeoID, it feels like the environment is plugging into you, right? So confidence comes from a few very simple experiences. You sign in as yourself, the same identity across apps without recreating accounts left and right. You can see in one place what you've connected, what permissions you've granted, and you can revoke them eventually. When you interact financially or through an AI agent down the line, you know it's rooted in your identity and with your choices and your preferences, not in opaque, platform logic. So one example, let's say from the testnet, is that we had people move between a community space, a reward mechanism, and I see somebody mentioned Zeet right now, and I'll touch base on that in a bit. And all using basically unique identifier, which we will identify later, whether it be the early and the Genesis NFT, etc. So, and that will be then replaced by the Neo ID, right? Which will then continue to follow, and where you will see what you've done before. And this is, I saw somebody ask about, again, about the early N and the Genesis NFTs and people that have signed in with their email and that are waiting to see the value of it. And I tell you again, trust me, there will be value for your early trust in us. And that's how we wanted it to begin. Now, these people that came on testnet, they didn't need to re-register every time. They didn't need to re-verify every time and to manage a million wallets, right? And we're launching also our own native wallet very soon, which is called the N wallet. So I'm very excited also to share that with the community and all of the exciting new features that we have. Now, just to touch real quick on the Zeet creators, everyone knows what happened with Twitter and the whole, trend. But rest assured, I mean, we haven't launched yet. The token is still not live, and the screenshots have been taken. The rewards have been distributed between the winners, and we're just waiting patiently to have everything live, and you will have your rewards claimed at that time. So stay patient with us. It will all come with mainnet live, hopefully, with the token live, and then hopefully we'll have you reinvest that into our ecosystem.
Yes, that's the whole point, right? Like building people, building army of people who rally behind the vision. Incentives are also is going to be into the play, right? But at the end of the day, if they stick around and believe in what you are doing, everybody wins, in my opinion, right? You see your token prices going up, you don't see it VCs dumping on you, you don't see yourself being the exact liquidity, and that's what we are building. So trust me, we have thought about everything. We have talked everybody who contributed to our growth, created content, claimed the badges will be rewarded. We are taking note of everything. None of your actions will be overlooked. That's for sure. And that's the ethos of us putting community first. If we are not doing that, we are failing at the very first step, right? So uh, please be patient with anything that you have done. You will be rewarded. Bringing my like looking forward to uh, the future of OPN chain or IOPN is we talked about mainnet, we talked about Atlas, we talked about identity, we talked about the gamified system, we talked about OPN Hub. If I have to ask you, what is one thing you are excited about the next 12 months for IOPN as a whole? What is that one thing out of different verticals? Could it be AI because it's popping off, or what is one vertical you, Jimmy, personally is really excited about? Forget about the community, forget about the team. It's your what your heart says.
Mm. You know what? I feel like I'd like to see IOPN become unavoidable. I want us to make enough noise and to prove a concept of how we can run an ecosystem, how we can build a community organically, how we can truly uh, give out the right governance and stick to it, promise milestones and hit them, do the things that a lot of other projects haven't done and hurt a lot of people. I want to see us. I want to see a healthy chart, and we need everyone's support for that. We can control a lot of things, but a lot of things also we can't, and we need the support and the trust of our community, and that's the only thing we can build towards. But the rest is in the mercy of the people. So the best. I want us to offer the best experiences online that have to require people first infrastructure, not as a philosophy only, but in practice, right? So what that means could be that apps where you can only get the full value if your identity is portable and under your control. Communities where governance is credible because identity and incentives are wired, are baked into it from the get-go. Tools that AI tools or other tools that are clearly on your side because they're anchored to your identity, and they will conform to your preferences. So looking, let's say, a year and a half, 2 years out, um, open chain, I believe, would see real applications that will treat the individual as the root object in terms of payment, coordination, ownership flows. But what's beautiful also is that open chain also caters to the other side, which is the institutional and the governmental. So also having open chain be the rails or the foundation that rails are built on top of, that can safely secure government and government data computing and storage and safety, to allow to have open be the vehicle for people to uh, get access to life-changing opportunities, passports, real estate, high-end luxury items, profit sharing on certain things that they could have never imagined getting access to. We want NeoID to be adopted by everyone. We want N Wallet to be in everyone's browsers and phones. We want hit record numbers for our reputation points, and have people start reaching prestige levels with the battle passes and the gamification. Um, we built it to cater to as many people as we can, so we want to see the numbers, right? And with Atlas in specific, to have multiple modules of Atlas across the globe, hopefully running smoothly, securing governments, interlocking into a mesh network, as we discussed before. A lot to look forward to, and we're laser focused on these targets. And as a daily mantra, we're always discussing the vision and where we can reach together. With your trust and with your loyalty, we can do it all together. So very, very excited to see these verticals come to light and thrive.
Exactly. I'm personally very excited to see how the future unfolds for IOPN. And like you mentioned about, like, I really love your vision of being just everywhere. And I love the term you said, right? Being unavoidable. And that's it for me. That's the drop the mic term that was needed. If you are unavoidable, you are going to reach your target audience no matter what, and people are going to love you for what you are, right? Because we know we are building something uh, that brings true value to people, and that will be useful to average Joe uh, wandering around in Web3, being the exact liquidity and being tired of somebody being used every time. So the experience is going to be super different from what others do. To close this out, if anybody who is watching, who is early, who's a new to IOPN, maybe some of your friends recommended you or you saw this space and unsure what IOPN really matter means, you can join our Discord, see, follow our page. We post a lot of stuff. We have a lot of events. This is just the first part of the series. We have much more deep dive topics going to come about Atlas, what rep system is going to be, what you can expect on mainnet, what dApps and apps we are going to have, what is N wallet, uh, what giveaways that we're going to have. Uh, and I'm not going to spill a lot of beans. So please stick around. Go to Discord. Please, we have mods in your service 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Testnet is still live. You can interact with the chain, and mainnet is coming soon. Uh, Before we close, right? It's going to be one line from today in 6 months from now. If we want people to remember about IOPN, what it would be. That's your moment.
Mm. Uh, One line that we can recall in 6 months. So I'll stick with infrastructure decides who has power, even when it pretends to be neutral. So it's very short, but it's very powerful if you think about it. The way that the internet has been built and how it's developed to today makes it that the infrastructure that we build, that we use, is actually making us the product. So what we're thriving to build is an environment where the infrastructure gives you the power, and not stripping power away from you and privacy away from you. So that's one thing. 6 months from now, would love to rediscuss and see if we're inching towards a near future where IOPN can help create an environment that supports the user. One
Love
little
it.
thing also here from the comments before we sign off. So JP is asking about Discord roles. So we're really out of time here, but I'll make sure it's added to our next topics of discussion, so we can deep dive into the Discord roles, go through the user journey there, and see how it links to rep points, and it'll all become much clearer once we deep dive into our different platforms. So definitely come join our broadcasts. We're gonna do them much more regularly in this format. and you'll get all the insights that you need there.
Exactly, and I like we can bring in the head of community from our side to also come in and talk you through in progression of the roles and how it actually works, right? So this is the whole purpose of this broadcast. You are our community. We are a community first project. Any questions you have, we are going to create this series based on your feedback. We are doing it real time. If you tell us today, let's do a session about swaps, so then we get the person who is responsible for swaps and we create an entire session for you on swaps. So we build together. We are going to have more of these sessions with guests, with speakers, with people from Surgence, with people from IOPN team, and different partners also. Sometimes, as you can see, we have done previous spaces with Tria, for example, and we have a partnership with them on the card giveaway. So this is what you can expect in future. And yeah, I hope you join our next spaces, and we'll have different hosts too. So I'm going to be there, then you will have somebody else coming in, so we have a lot in store.
Awesome. Really excited for this. With that, I'm gonna, love you and leave you guys. Thank you everyone for joining. This has been a great initial broadcast for us. Stick around, stay tuned for our next one. A lot more to be shared, and a lot of value to be given out here, and education around our ecosystem that is quite detailed. So we need you guys here. We need you guys with open eyes, open ears, ready to take in, hopefully, what will become your new home online.
Yes, and one last alpha that I want to drop is that when the whole progression and rep dashboard goes live, right, all these spaces are going to be rewarded with something. So as I said, like, you joining in, your participation will be rewarded. There will be badges and system for people to claim who show up, right? So it's not that you are showing up and we are taking note of everything. So at the end of the day, accelerate n. And that's what we say. I want accelerate n in the comments right now. Quote retweet this space so your friends see, and quote retweet with accelerate n. If you don't know what accelerate n means, you need to go to Discord right now and check out. Thank you guys.
Well said. Thank you, MG. See you guys.